What's good, everybody, and welcome to J Moore Reacts. I'm your host, Jay Morris, and today we are reacting to the death of one of the biggest names in professional wrestling history, Hulk Hogan. Whether you grew up watching Hulkamania or watching the rise of NWO, or just learning about his impact on wrestling, there's no denying that Hulk Hogan helped shape the wrestling industry for what it is today. According to reports, Hulk Hogan had been experiencing health issues over the past year before he suffered his medical emergency at his home in Clearwater, Florida. His wife, Scott Hogan, and his home health assistant immediately began CPR and continued their efforts until emergency personnel arrived. Despite their life saving efforts and being transported to medical care, Hulk Hogan later was pronounced dead. However, one detail has sparked discussion online. According to a statement reportedly made by an EMS responder, there was question about whether CPR had been performed continuously until paramedics arrived. The reporter noted that Hulk Hogan didn't have any broken ribs, which people have pointed out due to broken fractures are often common results of effective CPR in adults. These comments, however, have not been confirmed as part of the official medical report or the investigation into the incident. If you're new to the channel and you like what I do, go in and hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you'll never miss one of my videos. Without further ado, let's get to
it. What really happened in the hours before the wrestling legend died?
Said he was doing CPR for 8 minutes.
Okay.
He was not doing CPR for 8 minutes.
What makes you say that?
Because when I started CPR, I'm the one that broke his ribs.
Now, new claims, new questions,
That's why bro said
and
that.
a body cam trail that offers a closer look at what unfolded.
In all my 20 years, I never seen nobody die.
We're on the case presented by Law&Crime. I'm Chris Stewart.
Also, I'd like them to take
we
note
just
too,
got our
we
hands on
already,
a massive body cam file from the death investigation of wrestling legend Hulk.
The first official video that is from Law&Crime on the case. You can definitely check that out. It is actually titled similar to my title as well. I'm pretty sure you should be able to find it just because it is a breaking news as far as the case on Hulk Hogan and his death. Okay.
Hogan. For months, questions have surrounded the sudden death of the wrestling icon, but now for the first time, we are taking you inside the investigation with hours of newly obtained police body cam footage. So to catch you up to speed, let's go back to July 24th, 2025. Hulk Hogan.
Every time I see a house that has those stairs on both sides, you know those folks got money, because you know damn well taking a mattress, taking a dresser, even the box spring up one of those spider stairs is probably a damn nightmare. But hey, he probably don't got to worry about it. You know, he probably was super strong, but he probably ain't worried about it. This man got money. Man got grand in bands.
Real name was Terry Bollea. He stopped breathing inside his home in Clearwater, Florida. His wife, Sky Daly Hogan, along with an occupational therapist and a home health aide, reportedly performed CPR until first responders arrived.
Happy.
And despite the reference,
so
Hulk Hogan, the wrestling legend, died. In the days that followed, speculation spread. Did complications from recent neck surgery play a role? How could someone who appeared to be recovering and in good spirits suddenly stop breathing?
True.
Now we're breaking down what investigators documented, what first responders witnessed, and what the newly released records reveal about Hulk Hogan's final moments. So let's begin at the beginning, when Hulk Hogan stopped breathing. Investigators caught up with the home aide who was caring for Hogan when he reportedly went into cardiac arrest. Here is her account and timeline of what happened.
I had him 7 to 7, like 7 in the morning to 7 at night that day. I got here around probably like 6:50-ish. I can't remember the girl who I replaced, but he was already up in the bathroom upstairs, sitting in the chair, getting ready to brush his teeth.
Okay.
I think he died was that a Wednesday? If it was a Wednesday, I had him that Monday, I think, and he was not.
Okay.
Like he was, moving slow, but like wasn't nothing like I walked into Wednesday. They said he was in diapers when I got there.
So at this point, it sounded like he was coherent. It sounded like he was coherent. He was doing, his average, routines, he didn't show any signs of being sick or, stumbling or being confused or anything like that. Any signs that, that usually establish, something might be potentially about to happen or it's happening right here at this moment. You feel what I'm saying? That nobody's seen this, and this is his. If I'm not mistaken, this is his caretaker. When you start to get old, man, you got to have somebody to watch your back, make sure that you ain't falling down the stairs and shit like that. Because sometimes, having them life alerts and stuff like that, they don't do 110%. You feel me? Sometimes you got to have somebody physically there, make sure if anything happens, they're there to attend to your needs.
So I guess I don't know what took place overnight or Monday to Wednesday, but by the time I got here Wednesday, he was in diapers now. So he brushed his teeth, he went downstairs.
Oh, wait.
He didn't normally eat breakfast, so he had a yogurt. I want to say the wife gave him his medicine, his morning medicine, and we set him in a recliner. Okay. Probably, I want to say 9:45, occupation got here, occupational therapy got here. They had to order new toilets because I guess his strength wasn't what it normally was. Okay. So with us having to order new toilets, I showed occupational therapy, came in, he was breathing. He was breathing when occupational came in. I literally said from probably here to her car is where the distance was from the living room to his office where the bathroom downstairs they used. I walked occupational therapy into the bathroom to see the toilet. When he came out, he was like, Terry, I'll be over in a minute to get your vitals. He went over and he was like, I can't get a pulse. And
Terry responded to him when he said that?
No, but he was sleeping. He was sleeping. As soon as I put him in the chair, he went to sleep.
Okay.
So he said, I can't get a pulse on his finger. I also worked at Largo Med, so I was like, sometimes if they cold, you gotta rub it. And so he started rubbing the hand, and he was like, I still can't get a pulse. So that's when me and Sky walked over, and Sky was like, he's not breathing. Okay. We called 911. We lowered him to the ground. The occupational, they told us how to administer the CPR. The occupational started the CPR, and they worked on him until the paramedics got there.
Okay,
and then basically we're like, he passed away already, but they just kept working on it.
So the medications you took by them, does he have
They
like
got
the same
multiple
ones you take separate
medical
days?
assistants.
I think in the morning,
Like a
all
caretaker,
mornings are the same, but I don't think he takes
CPR
like everything all day.
Okay.
So I think he had like a morning dose
Hey, it's trying to make
and
sure
like
they
a
was
night
straight.
dose.
It
I
sounded
did
like
go
he
over
had
the night before
whatever
at
health
7,
issues he
and there
had
were certain medicines that he
developed.
would take between like 11 or 10.
Pause this real quick. I don't want to be talking over the video. So it sounded like the medical issues that he had going on in the past year has been really taking a toll out on his life, because it seemed like he had like several different individuals that were there to attend to his needs, and then also too he was in diapers. And I can imagine that something like that would probably have a lot of it have a lot of negative effects on his personality and how he thinks about himself, because with you being like the world's strongest man and being this person that people usually see as a strong individual, and then have to result to things that like diapers and stuff like that, it probably takes a toll out on their self-esteem a lot. So I do commend him for being man enough to be able to do something like that. Because I'm like, hey, man, hey bro, you got to put me in diapers, man. Go ahead and take me out, bro. I don't want nobody to have to be responsible for putting diapers on me, or me be putting diapers back on my damn self when I know I got kids that wear diapers. It just something that just, I feel personally that it really takes a toll out on somebody's self-esteem when they have to do that.
Because he would stay up a little late at night. He was up and down at night. I guess whatever the pain he was in, whatever surgery. We didn't go into detail because they considered him such a high-profile case at my job, so we got the bare minimum about what was going on with him. He had like a nurse coming in every day that they knew the depths. Our job basically was feed him, help him bathe, like the normal ADL stuff.
So when you say activities for daily living, is that ADL?
Yeah.
So when you say we, that's you and the other home health
Yeah,
aides?
like the other, it was like basically
Yes,
2 a day because they did 12-hour shifts.
It sounded like they had a whole health team, like, and then they was working 12-hour shifts, so they were all like, rotating out to be able to give him some assistance. And I'm pretty sure they probably have like a different team at night, for like emergencies, or like, if he end up losing consciousness while he's sleeping or something like that, they'll be able to revive him and not necessarily leave it up to the caretaker to take care of everything. You feel what I'm saying? Because they responsible for a lot too. They probably cook their food, they bathe them, and those processes are not really easy to transfer transitioning to, because you got to realize that you transition an adult to each of these processes. If you're feeding them, if you're trying to put them in bed, they ain't no kid. You can just pick the kid up and just take the kid and put the kid in bed. Versus an adult, you got to wait for them. You got to ask them, certain things about like allergies and stuff like that. You don't have to do that for a kid. You usually already know. So, but let's continue.
Because somebody would be there 7 at night to 7 in the morning, and somebody would go 7 A to 7 P.
Okay. Do you have access to his like medical records or anything like that?
We didn't even have access to who his real name was. It was just when they first gave us him, it was just high profile client Clearwater. I didn't know who it was until I pulled up, went to work, and he was the first day I had him, he was in a chair.
Okay.
And anybody that knows him knows that hair with the ball. So I'm like, is that Hulk Hogan? And the lady was like, yeah, they didn't tell, no, they kept it like very discreet on, because I guess the celebrity factor was very discreet on who we were working for and everything else.
So with it,
I don't even know why he ended up sick. They never told us what happened. It was just, he had just got out of the hospital and needed home health care.
okay. So after this happened, did you write anything? Like, do you have to write a report as to what you saw? What
No,
you did, like
I called my job. I said, well, they're taking him to the hospital.
Okay.
And she was like, okay, you have to stay until they physically pull off, but technically you're still working.
Sure.
I gave Scott a ride to the hospital, and I called my job. I was like, she asked for a ride. I gave her a ride to the hospital, and they asked me what happened. I don't know if my job reported when I told them or me in occupational therapy, but we never had to write anything or that.
And that's normal. I mean, have you ever had?
I never had this happen.
Okay.
In all my 20 years, I never seen nobody die.
Okay.
Never.
How you doing with it?
I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Because not just before it was, but I never had that happen to me. I even working in the hospital, I never saw a patient cold. That was all scary to me. Like, that was just a lot. And then to go outside, and the street was already filled with people, it was just too much. It was a lot.
That morning when you got there, was he talking or anything?
Yes, he was fine. He was sitting there, and I was like, you gotta brush your teeth. And I would always tell him, you gotta try everything every day. You're not just gonna sit in the chair. He was like, okay. He brushed his teeth. He was like, I'm ready. We went down the elevator. Got him in because he had a little big recliner down there. We went down the elevator, got him in the recliner, and that was it.
Okay. You said he just ate yogurt?
Yeah, that's all he basically ate morning time, just like yogurt.
Okay. Was he complaining of any pain or anything like that? More than normal?
Not that particular day, but some other days he would complain of his back. So I don't know what the injury had something to do with his back, but I'll just say he had back pain.
Okay.
But he barely was awake. He would always like sleep during the day. I guess the overnight shift would say he would be up and down a lot, which I can vouch because I did a couple overnights, and it was just like whenever he wasn't comfortable, he would want to get up, go downstairs, and downstairs to go back upstairs.
Okay.
So him sleeping in the day was like really normal.
Okay.
On the average 7 to 7, I think he probably would be up probably 2 or 3 hours
Oh,
out of
wow.
the whole 12-hour shift. And if he was up,
That's
he was so
crazy.
quiet, he would just sit there and watch TV.
So having
She said in a day, he ain't up for no more than like 3 hours. Wow, that's crazy. Bro said I'm finna sleep it off. I feel that. If I feel that I'm declining, that's what I would do. I would probably sleep majority of my life away, just because sleeping is just a way to, relax your body, calm your body down. If your body trying to heal, especially if he had back pain, he used to be a wrestler. He used to be jumping off of top ropes and doing power bombs and jumping off of, jumping off the bands and shit like that, jumping on people, doing flips and all of that shit off the ropes and shit, man. That jump take a toll out on your body. Even if you're strong, things don't necessarily heal the right way whenever you consistently, have to get out there and, put your body to the test. You feel me? Something gonna heal wrong. Something gonna heal a bit askew, Yeah, man, that back is definitely the vulnerable factor when it comes to doing those extensive careers like wrestling. Let's continue.
how many times do you think he's treated him?
I probably had him like 5 or 6 times.
Okay.
Whoa. What's that? I just built a budgeting app in Base 44. Guys, we need to just build.
The remainder of the conversation between the home aide and investigators turns clinical, focused on Hogan's medical history and the strict protocols she is required to follow for reporting and record keeping. But that's only part of the story, because now we shift to the moments after the 911 call when caretakers stepped back and paramedics arrived on scene.
Do you remember what you were dispatched for?
Medical
Just
emergency.
Okay. So once you got there, what did you see?
When we got there, obviously, we get more notes as the call came in.
Sure.
And then when we arrived, we found an individual in cardiac arrest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember where he was?
It was in the living room.
In the living room? Okay.
On the floor in the living room.
Okay. And what did you see?
Next to a couch. There was two healthcare providers there.
Mm-hmm.
One, the male was attempting to do CPR.
Okay. Were you the lead medic or the charge medic or whatever you guys call it?
Lead medic was my partner.
Okay.
But we interchange whatever needs to be done. We make it happen.
Okay. So this guy's doing CPR, one of these medical providers?
Yeah.
Okay, or attempting, as you said?
Yeah.
So then you guys, I assume, take over?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And then what happens from there?
We took over. We went through what we do normally. We follow ACLS protocols and county protocols that we do have. I think we were there for a long time. Try to restart, what you call it, do everything we can.
Yeah.
And then we took him to the hospital.
Okay. At some point, did you look at his body at all?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, before we said roll him to the board. We looked at him. We looked
just
at
to make sure.
Yeah.
Did you see any obvious signs of trauma or anything like that?
Not initially. We didn't.
When you were there, sort of doing your thing, working the code, did you hear anything from anyone who was there about what happened prior to the cardiac arrest?
Yes, I did ask. Yeah, I did ask. According to, I believe, when I asked what happened, well, he received some treatment, I guess physical therapy or something.
Okay.
And then he went to his bedroom somehow.
Okay.
After the treatment.
He did, or someone else?
He did.
Okay.
The patient. He went to the room, and then a short time later, came from the room, sat on his couch.
Okay.
And watching TV or something.
Okay.
And then the not respiratory, but the physical therapist and the nurse that was there continued doing their whatever they were doing.
Okay.
And then he told me after a little bit of time, go check him to check a blood pressure, and there was none.
Okay.
And that's when they, this guy was covered on the couch.
Next up, a lieutenant gives his version of events, adding a new layer to what really unfolded.
We rolled up. The rescue was in front of us.
And,
jumped out, grabbed some equipment.
If I'm not mistaken, this is the
female.
This is the, I guess, if I'm not mistaken, it's probably like a firefighter. Every time you call 911, I'm pretty sure if it's a celebrity, they're gonna send everybody. They're gonna send firefighters, they're gonna send EMS, they're gonna send the police, they're gonna send everybody they need to make sure whatever they need to get done at that moment, they need to get it done. All the information they need to get, they need to get it firsthand for the wolf's mouth. So they send everybody, I'm pretty sure.
Whatever she was, standing on the porch right between the doorway.
Okay.
Walked in, saw the other gentleman, another nurse or rehab guy, whatever he was on the floor next to the recliner doing chest compressions.
Okay.
And then from that point, we just worked a standard ALS cardiac arrest. We followed our protocols. Started off with just CPR, BLS airway with just BVM and some oxygen. Put him on the monitor right away. He was in asystole. I upgraded his airway. I placed a king tube with an OG tube and made our CPR continuous. At that point, it wasn't BLS CPR anymore. And then just followed our protocol. We gave the max amount of EPIs we're allowed to give, which is 3. We gave Narcan just to give Narcan. It's pretty standard practice on cardiac arrest patients. It's one of the H's and T's we kind of roll out, and it's pretty benign drug when given. So we gave Narcan just to give it. Checked his blood sugar, which came back good. Learned that he'd recently had some kidney issues, so we treated him. We also gave some bicarb and calcium, but it was pretty much just a standard, regular asystole type hostile cardiac arrest.
Do you remember what you were dispatched for originally?
I remember the notes. It did come in as a cardiac arrest, but
Okay.
I didn't say anything about like the sex. Like, it didn't say male or female.
Okay.
And I think it said, I don't think it had an exact age. It might have been like an approximate.
Okay.
But
when you got there, where were people positioned?
the one female nurse was standing in the doorway. Like when you walk up those stairs, she was just right there on the phone.
You're talking about the front stairs,
The
like
front
they go
stairs.
to the front door.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. His wife was kind of between there and where he was on the phone talking to somebody.
Okay.
And then the male nurse was on the ground doing chest compressions.
Okay. And where was Mr. Balea?
He was, if you're looking at his recliner, he was to the left.
Okay.
The paramedics on scene all have the same story. They knew someone was in cardiac arrest, and they jumped in to treat their patient in the way in which they were trained. One of the paramedics is asked about whether or not he notices anything unusual on scene.
Play a story-driven game that drops you into the 20th century. Smooth music, graphics, and gameplay make for an unforgettable individual journey.
So you said you started your protocol, so you guys start working at cardiac arrest, as you presumably normally do. Did anything stand out to you about this one?
No.
Okay.
No.
Did you? So what were you sort of doing as part of to help with this effort?
I was kind of helping where needed.
Okay.
Everybody kind of filled into a position as far as airway or compressions. Then I just started gathering equipment and what else was needed on the outside of it.
Okay. I assume at some point you looked at his body. Did you notice any signs of trauma that were apparent to you or anything like that?
Not that I recall.
While you were there, did you hear anybody talking about what had happened before he went into cardiac arrest, if anything?
Not that I recall either.
Okay. Any talk of any medical history or anything like that that you would have changed how you guys did business or anything like that? No?
Not necessarily. No.
Cool.
It's pretty straightforward.
Okay.
So we know Hulk Hogan stopped breathing. The 911 call came in as a cardiac arrest, and until now, the story has been the same. Those inside the home, including the occupational physical therapist, immediately began CPR the moment they realized Hulk Hogan didn't have a pulse. But a newly released body cam video reveals something investigators noticed, and one paramedic says that version of events doesn't add up. So I want you to listen carefully to what he says.
All right. When you got to the house, what did you see, once you walked in?
When I just went up the stairs because I saw the, I don't know if she was a nurse or whatever, saying, hey, he's up here.
Okay.
So I just went up the stairs because the paramedic on the engine and the lieutenant went to help grab the equipment off the rescue.
Okay.
So I just went upstairs. When I walked into the room, he was on the floor next to a chair. The therapist, the guy in the room, the scrubs,
Okay.
said he was doing CPR for 8 minutes.
Okay.
He was not doing CPR for 8 minutes.
What makes you say that?
Because when I started CPR, I'm the one that broke his ribs.
Okay.
If he was doing CPR, he was doing poor CPR.
Okay.
So that's, yeah.
Okay.
But he, in the notes going up.
Now, with him saying what he just said, with bro saying what he just said, and it's important to remember that while breaking ribs is relatively common, all because the absence of said consequence does not necessarily means that the CPR was done improperly or incorrectly. It's just common. Okay, so I want you guys to remember that.
And I think on the radio they said they were having trouble getting him out of the chair to the floor. So we were thinking we were going to have to get him on the ground, but he was on the ground when we got there.
Okay.
Some striking allegations are being raised here. Did the occupational physical therapist really perform CPR for 8 straight minutes? And if so, was it done improperly, as one paramedic claims? Now, these are obviously serious questions, and for now, they remain just that, claims from one side of the scene. The only way to get clarity is to hear directly from the therapist himself. His name is Justin McCamey, and his conversation with investigators is a little hard to hear, but I want you to listen closely to what he had to say in the minutes after Hulk Hogan died.
I witnessed the surgery a month or two ago. They slept.
And see, there's a lot of medical individuals and emergency personnel going back and forth inside of this scenario. So I'm not sure what the other gentleman was, but there's a lot of people going in and out of here. You feel me? So I'm pretty sure that if somebody's seen that this guy was doing CPR improperly, or since Hulk Hogan was already showing signs of having health issues in the past, you know, I'm pretty sure that they probably prepared his wife, you know, for, you know, certain situations that might be similar. You know, as far as like, you know, losing consciousness, might necessarily have to do CPR just because he is getting a little older and whatever the case may be. So I'm just surprised that he just made this statement that he could potentially been doing CPR kind of wrong, but at the same time, this ain't just no average Joe. It's freaking Hulk Hogan, for Pete damn sake. So I'm pretty sure somebody would have said something if they felt that he was doing it wrong. So let's continue on though.
They severed the phrenic nerve, doing a complete system shutdown.
Got real doctors, bro. Got real doctors in history. You don't just got people that just come pick your body up.
I saw last week one time. That's like dead here.
When some of them doctors and some of those emergency personnel heard that Hulk Hogan was dead or Hulk Hogan was having an emergency, they got the hell out of there. They got the hell out of any office, any freaking Starbucks, wherever the hell they was at. They left and they got immediately on the scene. Immediately. I'm 110% sure. Like bro got the whole freaking his whole equipment around his neck and every damn thing. Who has that when 911 is called? Anybody? Unless this is his caretaker, which if I'm not mistaken, this is not his caretaker, because it sounds like he has a black woman caretaker, and then he also has an assistant who is a black male that was supposedly allegedly doing CPR. So let's continue on though and see all the people that we can see and kind of put this story together and see if we can find some type of clarity on what's going on. You know.
Breathing, magic all the gas. I was checking out the
Do what? Okay.
He ate very little, a couple of durations. Was up throughout the night, attempting medication and sleep, narcotics. And came back to him. I noticed
it is. Yeah, it should be behind that too.
No rise and fall of the chest. Tried to get pulse, tried to take blood pressure, nothing. She came in, we realized it together, immediately called 911. Got him to the floor, we started corrections. But basically, he was breathing. In any case, when I saw it, I didn't, because he's such a big guy. Yeah. So getting a pulse, getting all that stuff is sometimes difficult. And then when we realized it, obviously we didn't call and get assistance. To be honest, I'm surprised he lasted this long.
You said you were only here like 10 minutes, right? Before
I got here about, I can tell you, talking to you, 2:30, I was here at 9:30. I walked in the door.
And how long have you been helping take care of him?
Only my second visit. Okay. I just did the initial eval last week. Honestly, I was surprised when they had released.
And are you trying to help him adjust to being in like the wheelchair mainly and stuff like that? Or?
Yeah, occupational, bad definition. PT does the legs. PT, we do the upper body. Okay. Function.
So just helping him function as best he can.
Right. I was trying to get him back, because he was having trouble breathing.
Was he able to walk and stuff?
Barely. It was a pivot transfer.
He's been using like urinal and stuff. What's the big issue right now?
Bro is out here. He was actually, it sounded like he was actually out here a lot worse than we expected, you know. I remember when I was a kid, I remember watching NWO and WCW, and I remember watching TV shows from wrestling. I remember that. And he used to tear his shirt open, and they used to do all types of cool shit that we just tried, and we end up injuring ourselves. But we had ourselves a good time. You feel me? They were very, very good role models, and all because we used to watch wrestling. Surprisingly, didn't necessarily mean that we had to resort to fighting every time we turn around. So I felt that was kind of crazy. But yeah, man, wrestling was definitely a very important part of my life, part of my family's life. Even my brother, you feel what I'm saying? He was actually the original OG of wrestling watching, and then I kind of like follow suit after I got a little older. But I loved Hulk Hogan. I loved Hulk Hogan. I loved X Pac. I love Sting, Kevin Nash, Diamond Dallas Page. Like, man, I miss all of those guys, and all of those guys were very, very important role models in our lives to show us that you don't have to take no shit, and if they don't like it, they can suck it. They can fucking suck it. Hey, y'all remember that shit, man? All right, bro. Let's continue through the video.
Everything. Like we were.
Like why is he why was he not able to walk?
He had that, let's say, severed the phrenic nerve in surgery.
Was that recently? Okay. So he had a back surgery, or what was it?
It was. Honestly, he's had so many surgeries.
Okay.
The phrenic nerve is a nerve that involves respiratory.
Okay.
And if you slice that, which is hard to do, the doctor's
okay. But so
that's off the record.
The surgery.
So you caught that. The doctor could have screwed up. Now, there was damage to the phrenic nerve, and that could have led to certain complications. And that comment is what led to some speculation that Hulk Hogan's death was caused by a botched surgery. When investigators followed up with McCamey later, he was much cagier with his answers, seeming to suggest that the fact that Hulk Hogan was a celebrity made speculation about his death and reports about his death spiral out of control.
Bro, Hulk Hogan, it seems like Hulk Hogan was hellaciously discreet about anything, everything that he had going on. Medical, drinks, food, that he didn't play no games about his untransparency. He didn't want nobody knowing anything about what the hell he had going on, bro. They didn't even know if it was gonna be a guy or a girl. But that's crazy because it's like, come on, man, you Hulk Hogan. You're like the most important professional wrestler in the world right now. You feel me? Like, dude's a fucking legend. So for him to be out here able to do that shit and then like magically pop up somebody, that's supposedly supposed to be working for him, don't know absolutely shit until they lay their eyes on him and be like, oh shit, motherfucking Hulk Hogan. What's up, bro? What's up, man? And see, a lot of people was actually saying a couple of questionable things about Hulk Hogan, but it seemed like all his caretakers were black. So I don't really think he was racist or anything like that. I think he was a very nice guy. Probably knew exactly what he wanted. A lot of celebrities do. And yeah, man, to see him grow out like this is very heartbreaking, bro. And I actually I haven't had any time to call my brother and say that Hulk Hogan had passed away. It literally happened last year, bro. Like right around the corner for my birthday. So I'm surprised I didn't already know, bro. But yeah, man, let's get into the video, man. Let's continue.
When playing games on PC, do you ever wonder if someone had a clip with you in it?
Download Metal, then go to Albums, Clips you're in, and connect it.
So this has nothing to do with the medical records per se. It's more just your own observations, your own background, and that type of stuff.
Can I have her present?
Sure.
I mean, it's a little intimidating. I've watched Law and Order for years.
Well, no, I'm a nurse.
Say that again?
I'm a nurse.
Okay, yeah,
I've done tons of codes.
Yeah.
This was my first.
I've never had police come to my house.
I understand that we're making things uncomfortable. That's not what we're trying to do here.
No, I understand. You have to see it from my perspective,
No, and I get
kids,
That's what
Yeah, they're not letting us say, they don't want us to say anything else because evidently I spoke too much already.
That's what they told you?
Yeah. Well, no, in general. I'm just hearing what's going on in the news.
Your boss also, the lady also said to get their cards.
Oh, yeah, cards.
Okay, yeah,
I got you. Cool. But this is the CEO of VNA with TGH.
Okay.
So that's the high up.
That statement that he made said that he done spoken too much already, so he obviously felt that he needed legal representation because of something that may potentially, because nobody would get legal representation without considering the fact that they might put been put in a situation where they might need legal representation. You feel me? So, it sounded like he talked to his lawyer because he may have potentially did something or had a guilty conscience that he may potentially had did something, and they told him not to say nothing. But at that period of time, he had already talked. So that's what it sounded like to me. That little statement he just made.
Yeah, that's who I tried to call. I just shoot out a good call back, and I guess somebody else gave it. Your Ann was your supervisor, the DON?
Yes.
She gave me her number.
Okay.
Yeah, I tried to call. I didn't get a message back.
I did too, because I even called say, hey, this was going down.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Well, I mean, if that's what they're telling you to say, we're not trying to put anybody in a hard spot.
Yeah, understood.
So
I'm appreciative of what you're doing, but I know that obviously I was blabbing, misspoke. I don't know what I did. I don't even remember the conversations.
You did not blab, Justin. I didn't say it.
So, okay. Thank you. This is his. My name is already on the back, just so you have it. And she can call if you have conversation with her about anything. She's welcome to call.
Awesome.
That number, we sit next to each other, so you call that one. You'll get either of us. Okay. Do you have any questions that I can help maybe lessen some of this angst that's being
I'm the
felt?
one that's anxious.
Well, I got that collectively.
Okay.
And I was the one that was like, Justin!
My question, we have family that are law enforcement, so we're
I'm like, some
fully-
guys just came here and, I'm like looking at them with...
I'm just concerned that all this stuff's getting out that shouldn't have been out. It's HIPAA violations on these camps. That's what you're doing, and it's getting that TMZ's calling me.
All this stuff that's out that shouldn't have been out. Now, what exactly could that be? Just because if everything transpired like you said, cardiac arrest, he wasn't breathing, he basically just died from natural causes, under the contrary of him already being sick. You feel me? Yeah, everything was straightforward, but now we're starting to hear certain terminologies and the certain ways people are speaking that says that something maybe deeper happened in the situation. Somebody may have dropped the ball.
Are they?
Yeah.
That's not getting out. That's all false stuff.
Well, they're saying things that
in life that the news says.
Yeah, I don't know what's being true. That's what's
we haven't released any video. I can tell you that.
Still open investigation.
So whatever you're seeing online is not coming from us.
Wow, you had to prove that was an open investigation, huh?
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why because of some of that information that's out there, we're trying to get everything sort of lined up as it should be. Okay. So that's why we're here talking to you now. Yeah, the only thing was is obviously about the surgery.
That's above my scope.
Okay.
It really is. It's not. I'm a therapist. I get people stronger.
Okay, so that you didn't go to med school. You're not a surgeon, nothing like that.
Not a nurse.
Okay. Occupational therapy is your licensure. That's your business. That's everything.
I get people walking, rocking, and making them.
Okay.
That's all I do.
Okay. And I know you told me on the phone, but the stuff that you got from about the surgery was from the chart.
That's all I know.
Okay. No other outside extraneous information?
No, none.
Okay. And then you said TMZ called you?
Yeah.
You didn't provide them anything?
No, I did not call them back. They called and texted me 4 times today.
Today alone?
Today's the first day they did it, and they just slammed it.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry you're going
I'm giving you no information out
I don't mean to be rude. Do you guys need a bottle of water or anything?
No, we're fine. Thank you, though. I appreciate it.
I was just, wasn't expecting, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I understand.
I mean, and then my neighbor called me, and then I listened to the message that she left me. I was like, oh, there was 2 guys outside looking for trust, and I was like, what?
Yeah, no, Justin's not in any trouble, so we just wanted to touch base with you.
Months after Hogan's death, on November 19th, 2025, an investigator caught up with McCamey one more time to get some clarification, and McCamey once again tempered his original comments a bit.
I was talking to the boss. He just wants one more question. In the video,
and see what he told when he said in the video. And that video is, he doesn't perform any surgeries. That's basically how he was kind of steering the responsibility towards somebody else, like the hospital, because he said that the information about the surgery and stuff like that he found out in the charts, but he didn't. But see, he kind of hesitated when he said that too, right? Like he was like, "Oh, so you basically found all this on the charts, right?" And he was like, "That's all I know." Really not confirming it, but not discrediting it either. You feel me? Like this is just weird. It's a weird situation, bro. Very weird, very strange.
Talked about how the phrenic nerve, when it gets severed, it's a hard thing to do.
I assume that, yeah.
Oh, you assume that?
It's not really my effort.
Okay, because basically, like, what we're trying to know is like how you knew that nerve. I'm sorry, laying on your car.
Sorry.
That nerve is a common thing that can be injured during a surgery, and B, like, how did you arrive at that medical conclusion to say that it's hard to do?
No, that was.
And if that was the potential situation that we are presented with, then hopefully that situation or that risk is in the paperwork that you had him sign. If you did, or if you were the person that was responsible for making the calls to have him have that surgery. Because they're saying that he had surgery. He probably had a couple surgeries. He's a damn wrestler, for Pete's sake. They probably have surgery on all types of shit. But for you to go to that specifically, it raises red flags. And that's why this police officer is pressing him about that. Because he literally just said that. What that was that? I think that last interview was back in August. It said 8, so August. And now we're in like November on this one. So let's see what they say.
Okay.
I assume. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
but I mean, you're not a neurosurgeon.
Yeah, at
right?
all.
Right.
Yeah, cardiac surgery. Yeah.
Well, we have to admit his behavior is a bit questionable, right? He's like, I don't know. For somebody that was getting paid from Hulk Hogan and his therapist and shit like that, you sure don't know nothing. That's crazy. Either you know nothing or you're acting like you don't know nothing.
Didn't go to medical school. You have the degree for the occupational therapy and that's it. Nothing beyond that, right? Yeah. Okay. Sorry to keep you.
It's okay. I was also glad to know it's more.
I understand that.
So I have gotten in trouble before for talking to him. So.
Okay. Well, I think that should be it. All right. Thank you, sir.
It was interesting though. Listen to the interview of Bubba Lifespanner the next couple of days after that.
Oh, I've heard it.
And the guy mentioned the phrenic nerve himself. He's like, "Oh, it could have been," and I was like, "Huh."
I've heard it.
Yeah. So.
That statement to me, I don't know why the police officer just kind of, maybe he was just like, there's not any questions that I can really ask right now, on additional to what I've already asked, just trying to be straightforward. You feel what I'm saying? Not trying to give anybody the impression that they are considering them as a potential suspect or somebody that's responsible until they're ready. Type shit, just asking, brushing up on small little questions. They always do that. They always come with a nonchalant approach. Like, I'm just gonna ask you. You said something about one thing back when we did that little small little interview with you. We just want to clear a couple things up real quick with you. Okay, all right, cool. 9 times out of 10, people hear that and they be like, oh, okay, 1 or 2 things. It's gonna be quick. Let's go ahead and get this over with. But usually, it's the big stuff. It's the big stuff, especially if they come in after they've had time to kind of reconvene and liberate amongst each other, and then come back with you with some new questions.
Well, fair enough.
I just get you stronger and get you moving.
Well, that's equally important. So, all right, take care, sir.
Thank you.
Hogan's passing was ruled a natural death resulting from cardiac arrest. The Clearwater Police Department praised the Hogan family, including his widow, Sky Daly, his kids, Nick and Brooke Hogan, and an attorney named Kevin Hazlett for, quote, their willingness to allow our investigators access to very personal information at a time when they were grieving and struggling, adding that it was, quote, extremely helpful. That will do it for On the Case, presented by Law&Crime. Subscribe to it.
All right, man. Hey, man. It sounds like there may be potentially somebody responsible for this man losing his life, dog. But if y'all feel a different way, man, leave y'all comments in the comments. All right, man. I thank you guys so much for watching my video, dog. Until next time, man. Peace out and stay blessed up, man.